So, President Trump, as you have seen on April the 2nd, and the reason why he did his whole Liberation Day and imposing tariffs on everyone across the world is the fact that he didn't want it to be look like it was April Fool's on the 1st, of course. And he says himself that he's quite superstitious, so he didn't want it to be on that day, so he set it up for April 2nd. And that's when those impositions and those tariffs are going to start taking place and are going to be in effect. So he did what he had to do, of course, and he just went on with the plan as effectively as he did. So he hit everyone. Now, if you remember, there's the prophecy that I gave about Donald Trump and the world, right? And then basically about the United States, Donald Trump and the world. That effectively just speaks about the fact that he's going to have some ripple effect around the world. And of course, God will also back him because of the fact that there's the weather, which I explained as well, where it was effectively after those Olympic Games where the role of the weather itself is going to be quite profound in the sense that you're seeing all these extreme weather and everything that's happening around here, which is also quite a thing here in South Africa, where we're seeing in the localized floodings and quite a few things, and there's been non-stop rain where I am. But effectively, just going back to the USA, is that when Donald Trump is handing out all these impositions and to make sure that the nation is actually back on its wheels and it's back in a positive trajectory in terms of the economic powerhouse, and he's just bringing it back into its prominence, because he was saying that, look, the main thing is that the USA is being screwed on all deals, and especially ever since Joe Biden undid a whole lot of things that he had put in place to ensure that the nation is prosperous again. But effectively, that just was just, of course, abandoned, and effectively it even changed his campaign from "Keep America Great" to "Make America Great Again" all over. So that was exactly why he did MAGA Part 2, so to speak. But it'll be quite something, or quite a development to watch, especially when you're noticing that there's the role of the DOGE, which is the DOG as they call it, and that is about the governmental efficiency and those investigations. And once the investigations have done, and remember when I explained in my prophecy that they will find that the 2020 election was stolen, and if you remember that it was exactly for sector to sector, detail to detail, that I gave the winnings, and remember, I've never been to the United States of America a day in my life, so I was given these things by the Holy Spirit, and you're showing me that this certain districts are going to turn conservatives, even in their wards. I mean, I'm talking New York, New Jersey, if you remember specifically. And I spoke about the fact that there are certain swing states are all going to be taken, right? And there were the four that I lamented, or I was actually shown in that vision, where they all flipped red. And the main thing with that is that there's those contestations that have to go towards, there were court challenges with those four. And I was always wondering that, okay, if there were 7 swing states that they were lamented, why did God show me those particular 4? And the unique thing was that with that is the fact that they ended up turning into contestations and legal challenges, being Nevada and Arizona, Georgia, and also Wisconsin. So those 4 in particular, they had a very specific and very special sort of role in all of this. And of course, there was Michigan for one, but then I didn't mention any of that in terms of my spiritual revelation, not Michigan, but the other ones that I got mentions on were Philadelphia. That's right, Philadelphia, and it was also. Oh yeah, rumor read for California, which means California is not a blue state. It's not a Democrat state at all. It's actually red, but we will find that out as soon as this whole investigation is done. And effectively, there was also, I can't remember if there was anything else. I think I left that out. Anyway, oh yes, New York in itself. And I'm going back. New York, New Jersey actually are not blue. but neither were they exactly fully red, but they looked more red if you looked at the whole district voting. But what I was given the Holy Spirit is that they were 50-50, and it looks like it could flip red because Donald Trump being from New York is the main thing, and the main reason why it will flip, and also the districts moving towards your Manhattans and your Long Island. Yeah, that was the main part of that, meaning that the way I got it in the dream was the Hamptons. So that was the area that was actually the point of where the dream itself concentrated on. So yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see as far as the role in all of this. But there was one thing that I did mention earlier that was very at the beginning of my prophecies, and the ones that I published out was the one about the role of the U.S. Treasury and the debt there in it. One thing about that is the fact that, look, the debt was concealed, meaning that I've heard people and pundits and everybody kind of saying that, the one thing that Donald Trump didn't do was address the issue at Treasury. And not only just the Treasury, it looks like it's the Reserve Bank. And that was all to do with the printing press and the non-stop printing and non-stop duplications of the US dollar. So it was in particular to the fact that the debt was never put under control. And it was about the criticism of his in his first term in 2016 as something that did not occur. But I think something will come where it will be explained. But if you remember even my prophecy, that it was something that I was given, that I'm like, listen, if he's guilty and Donald Trump is complicit in it, as far as the underrepresentation of the U.S. debt and the Treasury in concerned, as far as is it their foreign debt or is it local debt? I'm not too sure exactly how it's how the debt was actually accumulated, or how it's comprised of, or what it's actually comprised of, I should say. But we will see as far as the DOGE, and it'll be something that will be quite, I think that will either somehow absolve him or may even sort of impugn him, because if you consider the fact that, look, he did a lot of good things as far as the economic activity, but he never, in what I was shown, that the debt itself is out of control, and that's not something that he had actually considered. I don't know if he just overlooked it and just decided to just make another plan, but let's see what happens in that sense, and we'll see effectively what actually comes of it.